cell phone there, and that was a, you know, expensive item, and I have a beam, and they also do them as a curtain. So they have curtain IR beams. And so if I reach in to grab the phone, because I'm stealing the jewelry from the jewelry store, that'll detect that. But yeah, great question. Examples of perimeter protection. So perimeter protection are going to be like the door switches, the window switches, glass break detectors. Perimeter protection, as a general rule, gets installed on every opening. So there's been a few court cases out of the States where customers have said, oh, I only want, you know, the front door, back door, and a motion detector installed. And part of the problem with that is that's not really security. That's a detection system, but it's not really a security system because there's too many holes in it. So one of the really important things is perimeter protection really is the most important layer of your perimeter or your onion skin or your layer of your security. And you really want to be sure you look at every conceivable opening and you protect it. You can never get everything, but you really want to make sure that your perimeter protection is well implemented. It's highly effective, and it takes a good security technician to say, you've got to do everything, these are the points, and convince your customers that that's what you want. After perimeter protection, we get into interior or space protection. Interior or space protection, or your confined space, is to detect the movement of humans. So as a general rule, if somebody can defeat the window or door contact, your interior space protection is your secondary layer. So that would be motion detectors. You could use glass break detectors, but glass break detectors are really a perimeter, in my opinion. You have something called window bugs. Window bugs are we used to call them shatter bugs or things. They're just little bugs, and they go in the window. They detect if the glass gets broken. And again, IR beams. So IR beams, a transmitter and a receiver. It's not used very often anymore, but there's also a pressure mat. So if you walk down a carpeted hallway, there'll be a mat underneath the carpet. Those are great, they're very reliable, but they are prone to false alarm because somebody will walk down the hallway in the middle of the night to use a washer or whatever, or forget that it's on and cause an alarm. And then we have spot protection. So we've all seen the movie of the Pink Panther stealing the diamond, and then the little pin pops up and causes the alarm, but because it hasn't been maintained, it's all corroded and it doesn't go into alarm. Right? So there's pull-aparts. So if you have an expensive piece of equipment, you can actually have something mounted onto the equipment where you actually have to physically pull it apart. So it's a electrical connection that gets broken. When it breaks that connection, it goes into alarm. And then mini switches. So you can have a mini switch hidden under the table. You have something that you want to protect. It has the magnet on it. It goes in that location. If it moves from that location, it goes into alarm. An example of that would be your safe. Like you can have a switch on the safe. You can have a pull apart on a safe. You've got your little safe at home. It's mostly for fire prevention. You're keeping your documents in there. They're typically used in very specific or limited space areas. And then we have personal protection. So personal protection would be like a wrist pendant or a pendant that you carry on your wrist. A lot of seniors use personal protection. I'm sure you've seen the ad, I've fallen and I can't get up. Have you guys seen that one? Okay, so they can be a radio frequency device. Typically they're radio frequency, but they can also be, if you're working at a cash counter, there's a button underneath to push for panic alarm or things like that. Some of them, I believe, I haven't seen anything recently, but I think even some of them, they have an ability to communicate via talking. And that's, so that's the onion skin principle. So PPISP, so that's pre-perimeter protection, perimeter protection, interior space protection, spot protection, and personal protection. And here's basically a pictograph of an idea of the layering of security. And layering of security also works for video cameras. So it works for video cameras, it works for security systems, detection systems. This is more of a institutional application where you've got a security guard, you've got cameras, you've got a whole range of different things. That picture should be in your handout that you have. There's 3 pictures here, there's that one, and then there's the other one for layering of video. Now, video surveillance is part of security, but it is different in how you apply it, simply because the application is different. You're still detecting, you're still monitoring, you're still recording, you're still wanting to keep all that. A lot of the new detection systems are integrated into the video systems. If you've ever taken a picture with your iPhone and you tap the screen, you know how you get that little yellow box? Well, that's detection. So the system in your iPhone is detecting the area of interest. Well, they can do that with people. They can have detection of each person's face, they can have movement of cars. Those things can all be detected, captured, reviewed, and in certain circumstances, depending on the system you have, they can even be set to cause an alarm, because especially with facial recognition, they can recognize your face, they can pick your face out of the crowd, and they can say, oh, we have an alarm, we've caught Johnny, right? Johnny the bad guy. So, any questions? Okay, so I have a little test for you. It's really quick and easy. So I'm just going to quickly hand that out for you. So I'm going to get you to just turn over your little handouts there. And just so you guys understand, this test is as much for me as it is for you. So this test is to determine the effectiveness of my instruction. Excellent. So that's just going to be about 5 minutes.
Okay.
You guys need more time, or are you guys pretty much done? Okay, what I'll do is I'll get you to just turn them over for now. They're not for any marks or anything, they're just for me. So please don't change any of your answers or anything, but we'll go over the, when we're done. So we'll just, to summarize, so the easy way to remember are basically a right and a left hand when it comes to the principles of security. So you've got your elements of security and your layering or your onion skin. So if you think of it in terms of your left hand and your right hand, you've got 5 elements and you've got 5 layers. Okay, so RAPiDD and PISP. So you've got RAPiDD is response, apprehension, protection, detection, and deterrence. And the reason I use RAPiDD is it's easy to remember. It's not necessarily in order, but it allows you to recall what those elements are. And then to summarize, the onion skin, which is PISP, so PPISP, which is your pre-perimeter, your perimeter, your interior space protection, your spot protection, and then your personal protection. Michael, me, Kathy is our fabulous assistant videographer. I really want to thank you guys. I really appreciate this opportunity. And I also want to thank Michael and Peter. And here's the answer key to the test. Okay? So if you guys just want to go and self-market, you don't have to put your name on it. And then you can just give it back to me. And then, any questions? No? Okay, and then as with everything that we do in the PID program, there's Creative Commons. So Creative Commons is a licensing, so if you do anything in regards to PIDP or you use things off the internet that are licensed through PIDP or through the internet, there's a creativecommons.org, which is a licensing agreement, which says how you can use things that you post on the internet and what they're all about. This is just a indicator that says if I post this on the internet, you can use this, but you're not allowed to make any money from it, and you have to give me credit. Okay? Okay, excellent. And that's a wrap.